Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news. If you've been following the Bills, off-season rumors, and the latest buzz around the league, then you already know that things are heating up in a big way. But what's truly catching everyone's attention right now is a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the entire landscape of the AFC East, and honestly, the entire AFC playoff picture. We're talking about none other than Chris Jones, the dominant defensive tackle from the Kansas City Chiefs, potentially heading north to Buffalo. And let me tell you, this isn't some small rumor. Sources close to Adam Schefter have whispered that a deal might be in the works that would see Jones wearing a Bills jersey very soon. Imagine the impact of adding a four-time Pro Bowler like Jones to the Bills' defensive line, especially at a time when the team is looking for that extra push to elevate their defense to elite status. The Chiefs, sitting comfortably at 8-2, are apparently making moves to free up cap space to extend Patrick Mahomes and focus on their offensive weapons, which means they're willing to part ways with Jones. In exchange, the Bills would send a first-round pick in 2026 and a third-rounder in 2027. This move could be one of the most significant in recent Bills history, and it's easy to see why. Jones, who has been a force of nature for Kansas City, would instantly bolster Buffalo's defensive front, turning what's already a solid unit into a true nightmare for opposing offenses. Right now, the Bills' defense has been pretty good, but they're missing that one game-changing interior presence. Ed Oliver has shown flashes of brilliance, but questions about his consistency and injury concerns, especially with his hamstring issues, have left fans wondering if the team should be doing more. Daquan Jones, while solid, is aging, and the team needs a disruptive force that can anchor the middle of the line consistently. That's where Jones comes in. He's a top-tier interior lineman, a player who can stuff the run, collapse the pocket, and create chaos for quarterbacks. His 2025 stats are impressive: 28 solo tackles, 15 assists, 43 combined tackles, 4-5 sacks, and a PFF grade of 88.6, which puts him among the best at his position. His run-stop rate of 14% and pressure rate of 16% show he can do it all, clogging running lanes and harassing quarterbacks alike. But what really makes this move intriguing is how Jones's presence could transform Buffalo's entire defensive approach. Pairing him up with Oliver would give the Bills a duo capable of generating over 18 combined sacks, which would be a huge boost compared to what they've managed so far this season. Plus, adding this kind of interior disruption would significantly improve their run defense, which is crucial in today's NFL, especially in the AFC East, where physicality and controlling the line of scrimmage are often the keys to winning close games. It's not just about stopping the run. Jones's ability to draw double teams would free up other rushers and linebackers to make plays, creating more turnovers and giving the Bills' secondary a much-needed break. And speaking of secondary, Buffalo's pass defense has been decent but not spectacular. The addition of Jones could be a game-changer in that department, too. His ability to generate pressure would reduce the amount of time quarterbacks have to find open receivers, which is especially important against high-powered offenses like Miami's Tua Tagovailoa-led attack. The Bills' secondary, which has had its share of injuries and inconsistency, would benefit immensely from a defense that forces opponents into hurried throws and mistakes. Moreover, the synergy between Jones and Oliver would make Buffalo's defense a nightmare for any offensive line, especially in those tight games late in the season and into the playoffs. Now, it's worth noting that the Chiefs are operating at a pretty high level with an 8-2 record and a defense that allows just 18.9 points per game. They're also prioritizing youth and extensions for their offensive line and wide receivers, which means they're willing to let go of some veteran assets to free up cap space. The move to trade Jones for cap relief of around $25 million makes sense for them, especially considering their focus on maintaining a competitive offense around Mahomes, who is under contract for years to come. Kansas City's strategy appears to be one of retooling and focusing on their offensive firepower, knowing that their defense, led by Jones, is still elite, but perhaps more expensive than they're willing to carry moving forward. But for the Bills, this trade could be a seismic shift. Buffalo's current cap situation is around $16 million in space, which isn't huge but manageable, especially if they're willing to move some players or restructure contracts. The urgency to address interior defensive line concerns is real, especially with Oliver's hamstring issues and Daquan Jones aging out of his prime. Adding Jones would not only improve the run defense and pass rush, but also act as a catalyst for the entire team's confidence and performance. It's a move that could elevate Buffalo from a good team to a legitimate Super Bowl contender, especially in a conference that's filled with offensive juggernauts like Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Baltimore. What makes this potential trade even more impactful is how it's projected to change the numbers and the dynamics of the Bills' defense. A duo of Jones and Oliver could bring total sacks close to 20, which would be a massive boost compared to their current totals. Their combined presence would push opponents' points per game down significantly, possibly from around 21 points allowed to under 18, a huge improvement that could be the difference in close games. It's also expected to increase turnovers, with projections showing an additional 11 forced turnovers, which would be a massive boost for a team that's been slightly inconsistent in creating takeaways. This defensive upgrade would allow the Bills to better control the game, especially in the trenches, helping them flip the script in tight situations and improve their chances of winning those nail-biting games that often decide playoff seeding. In terms of overall team strategy, adding Jones would align perfectly with Buffalo's approach under head coach Sean McDermott. The Bills have always been a physical team that thrives on strong defense and disciplined, balanced offense led by Josh Allen. With Jones in the middle, Buffalo's defense could become more aggressive, more disruptive, and more capable of shutting down high-powered offenses like Miami, which has become one of their biggest rivals in recent years. The Bills' offensive balance, with Allen's ability to extend plays and make big throws, combined with a fierce, disruptive defense, could make them a nightmare matchup in the postseason. And then there's the playoff picture. If this move happens in time for the trade deadline on November 4th, it could set off a chain reaction, accelerating Buffalo's push for a deep playoff run. Their current record at 7-3, combined with this defensive upgrade, would significantly boost their win probability in the postseason. The red zone defense would improve dramatically, with opponents' touchdown percentage dropping from 56% to around 44%, and third down conversions allowed falling from nearly 38% to just over 32%. That's the kind of improvement that can tilt the scales in high-stakes games. The total sacks, now projected to increase by around 20, would help Buffalo pressure quarterbacks like Tua Tagovailoa more consistently, giving the secondary more opportunities to create turnovers and swing momentum. Furthermore, the odds for Buffalo winning the Super Bowl would see a big shift. Currently, their odds are at plus 900, but with Jones's addition, those could plummet to plus 400, making the Bills a serious contender in the eyes of bettors and analysts alike. Jones's ability to dominate interior offensive linemen with a double-team rate around 29% would give Buffalo a significant advantage against elite quarterbacks. His presence would also neutralize running backs like Derrick Henry, who is notorious for breaking through defenses and wearing down opponents. This kind of disruption in the trenches is reminiscent of how Aaron Donald transformed the Rams' defense in 2019, boosting their odds and making them real contenders. So, what does this all mean for the Bills' future? If this trade goes through, it's a clear statement that Buffalo is all in on a Super Bowl push, aiming to build a dynasty that can sustain success for years to come. It's a bold move that signals they're willing to make the necessary sacrifices now for long-term glory. On the flip side, the Chiefs, in a bit of limbo, seem to be resetting, focusing on their young offensive weapons and future extensions, which leaves them in a kind of rebuild mode that might not pay immediate dividends. As a Bills fan, you've got to be excited about the possibilities. A defense anchored by Jones and Oliver would be one of the best in the league, capable of shutting down the most potent offenses and giving Josh Allen that extra security to take risks and make game-winning plays. The Bills' offense, which has been solid but sometimes inconsistent, could benefit from a defense that keeps opponents off the field, giving Allen and the offense more chances to control the game clock and put points on the board. It's a recipe for sustained success that could carry Buffalo deep into the playoffs and give us that shot at returning to the Super Bowl. This potential move is also a reflection of the Bills' aggressive mentality this season. They're not just content with being good, they want to be great, and they're willing to shake up the roster to make that happen. The AFC is wide open, with teams like Miami, Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Kansas City all vying for supremacy. But Buffalo's defense with a boost like Jones could tip the scales in their favor. It's about creating that winning edge, that extra push that separates good teams from elite ones. And if the Bills manage to pull this off, it could be the start of a new era of dominance in the AFC, one where Buffalo is not just a playoff team but a serious Super Bowl contender year after year. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think the Bills should go all in for Chris Jones? How would you feel about seeing him line up in that Bills uniform? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news. We're in a crucial part of the season, and every move, every game can define the path to that ultimate goal, another Super Bowl appearance. So let's keep the passion alive, keep supporting our Bills, and get ready for what might be one of the most exciting stretches of football in recent memory.